up to me saying that they'd logged me all day, and I was like, oh Christ, I apologise for my moaning and being miserable and talking so quick. And then Emma and Rylan came and grabbed me and like ran me onto the dance floor and got me dancing. And then there were a lot of speeches because it was a very obviously emotional night because obviously it was the end of Big Brother. So Paul Osborne, obviously the exec producer for this show, really, really nice guy, such a nice guy in real life, and loves the show. We met him. He's brilliant, isn't he? Really does love the show.
Honestly, he is Big Brother, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Before this series, he invited all the super fans to the house and basically interviewed us to ask us what we wanted to see in the series. It was so cool.
Was that him who did that? Set all that interview up? Because obviously I saw that interview because I saw some of you and a couple of other I think what they're called, but a couple of other tweeters were tweeting about different things that come from it. And so that's brilliant. No, but he's such a great guy in real life. He really, really is. And he was obviously doing a little speech, and it was getting a bit emotional. Rylan and Emma were crying, people were crying because obviously it was the end of. Well, we hope obviously it's not the end of the road because I think hopefully somebody else picks it up, whether it be Netflix would be an interesting one.
That would be.
Because I don't know how that would all work with the whole online streaming is very different, obviously. To that, I don't think there'd be a live feed with Netflix.
No,
they could be, and I don't know how it would work with the public on Netflix as well. That's the only thing I was thinking. It could be more American style. So, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I don't think that this is the last Big Brother. I mean, I really hope. As much as I'm honoured to be the last ever winner, I really don't want to be the last ever winner. And that's the God's honest truth.
Fair enough.
I do think it could do with a bit of a rest, though.
18 months. Give it 18 months. 2020. Bring it back. New channel that actually cares about it, gives it the time and love that it deserves.
A new house.
A new house, yeah. But I mean the team fantastic if they could try and keep that team together wherever they go, because I mean the welfare team's amazing. It's unbelievable. They are the most incredible people. The getting in team to get you in the house is extraordinary, because I was panicking, worrying about stupid things. I mean little things that you never have to worry about in your normal day life, but then you're going on television like, shit, what if somebody says this, or what if, and you're just panicking about everything. But they're so great at just calming you down. The chaperones are incredible, and they make sure they pick the perfect one for every person, and there's no personality clashes with that. And then when you're in there, obviously the support, they're in the diary room, they're incredible, because obviously they can't tell you anything, they can't say anything, and they stick to that 100%. They don't tell you anything, but what they can do is they ask you the questions that allow you to work through things, and they're so incredibly helpful in there. They're wonderful, and they'll be different, and they always seem to know. And it's weird because there's different Big Brother voices, but there's certain voices that if you're feeling a certain way, you'd rather speak to, if you know what I mean. And it seemed like every time that they called you to the diary room, they had the perfect Big Brother there for that mood that you were in. And if you were ever down or emotional, which is me probably 24/7 in there, they always picked it up, and they would always call you there, and it honestly felt like you were being looked after, and they didn't want any harm to come to you.
I actually think that came across in the show this year as well. It did feel that Big Brother was looking out for housemates a bit more, and especially the Irish female Big Brother.
Oh, she was unbelievable.
Yeah.
She was fantastic. She was one of my favourite. The funny thing is, because we always used to say, oh, this is my favourite Big Brother, or this is my favourite. But for me, every time I went in there, and it looked like I'd probably bum licking them, and I was trying to, please edit me well. But it wasn't that. But it was every time you go in there and you speak to a Big Brother, you'd come out and you think, oh, they're my favourite. And then you'd go in the next time, and you'd have a great chat, and you think, oh, they're my favourite. And you'd think, Christ alive. And you just kept saying it. And I was thinking to myself, they must be listening to this thinking, what an absolute disingenuous prick, saying that we're all his favourite, when actually he doesn't really like any of us. But no, it was fun.
Does the name Marsha the Moose mean anything to you? Marsha the Moose.
Marsha the Moose.
Cameron, you gotta get with he's got time to watch it now, so
I haven't seen that.
So you had a producer working on the show this year from Canada, and he voices the kind of Tree of Temptation, Wendy the Washing Machine equivalent from the Canada House, which is called Marsha the Moose.
Right.
You need to start watching Big Brother Canada.
Because obviously I met the Big Brother Canada voice.
Trevor.
Really again, he's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah. You need to watch Big Brother Canada, and you'll see him as Marsha the Moose on Big Brother Canada.
I definitely. That's exactly what I'm going to do. When we finish this, I'm going to go and look at Marshall the Moose. Marshall the Moose, is it?
Marsha.
Honestly,
the Moose. look it up on YouTube and you'll hear his voice is exactly the same.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Honestly, it's funny.
I'll definitely watch that when I finish here. That's funny.
Have you got anything else, Gaz?
Yeah, I wanted to ask about how it felt going after following Roxanne Gate, because that was huge. Did you feel like more pressure, like more focus? You must have been shitting it.
Well, when obviously I saw it all unfold on the thing, obviously my parents were watching it and they knew I was going in, and they were like, what is stopping somebody in there doing the same thing to you? And I said, well, you've got to trust with the way that obviously Big Brother dealt with the whole celebrity situation with Roxanne and how fairly they represented it. There's cameras in there. They did. Granted, I think she should have been kicked out, but they dealt with it well, and they did give a fair reflection. The public, they let the public make their mind up, even though I think they should have removed her. But they did allow, and it all worked out well, and Ryan didn't get portrayed in any way that was other than the truth. So it gave me comfort the way that they dealt with it. But yeah, a part of you was thinking, Christ, what if there's somebody like that in there that tries to say something or something like that? Because you are on national television. Somebody only needs to say one thing, and that can be it. You're not just your experience, but your life on the outside can be massively affected. You might not be able to get a job, you might lose friends, you might lose family, all through somebody saying a complete and utter lie. So I've got to be honest with you, it did shit me up watching it and how big it was and the media storm that it's created. And obviously I knew celebrity's bigger than Big Brother, but at the same time I did think to myself, Christ, I am going into this and I have to accept that stuff like this could happen. So no, it shit me up. I wish it wouldn't have happened the series before, like a couple of weeks before we were going in. That's just the way it felt.
You don't want an interview. You don't want an interview where Emma's looking at you like that, do you?
Oh, what an interview that was! Absolutely brilliant. She nailed that interview so perfectly; it was unbelievable. And the way she ended it, as soon as Roxanne starts crying, absolutely brilliant. The highlight of the whole celebrity series, in my opinion. Top 5 Big Brother moments right there. With, taking the earpiece out, absolutely loved it.
So, what are you going to spend your £100,000 on, Cameron?
I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to try and invest it. I think I'm going to put like probably 80-90 grand aside, and try and build a future for myself, and obviously hopefully get a house at some point and stuff like that. Obviously I'm going to go and do stuff that I've always wanted to do, like WrestleMania, possibly a Chelsea season ticket, go on a holiday to Italy with Thomas, do a bit of traveling with Lewis, because I want to have a little bit of fun with it, but the majority of it is going to go to investing and making sure that I'm also going to get a microphone as well. Probably a new laptop as well while I'm at it, because this one doesn't seem to be working. So yeah, just stuff like that. I might go out and get a new wardrobe, because I think I do need one. Maybe a few.
Isn't Lewis F going to take you out to get some outfits?
Yes, Lewis F. Well, Thomas did say about taking me out, but I don't know whether mine and his fashion might be a little bit different. So I might go with Lewis on this one. So yeah, I think I need a new wardrobe.
Yeah, I think Lewis has got the upper hand on the style there.
I agree.
I like a nightie, but not for day wear.
The fashion choices in that house were very unique. From not just me, Thomas. I mean, even Kenley used to put on some stuff that were quite you wouldn't expect it. But I mean, they look great on her. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she could wear anything and look fantastic. But yeah, some of the. I mean, Lewis G used to walk around in the shortest swim trunks I've ever seen, with his shirt out with 24/7 on. And obviously Isaac, loved dressing up when it came to parties with stuff that was. He used to put on stuff that was very revealing of obviously what he had down below. Which
we noticed that.
That we all got to see. So I think fashion was very interesting in the house this year. I think that was a very, very interesting part of the show. You never knew what you were going to get.
Where was Isaac at the final? Don't you know?
I do. I don't 100%.
You know that you can't say.
No, I've heard some rumours, but I don't know how true they are. So I'm happy to tell you off this, but I don't want to put it out there because I don't 100% know whether they're true.
Oh, fair enough.
They're only rumours. If I did know 100%, then of course. But
fair enough.
I'll tell you after. But
we don't like to gossip on BB on Blast.
No, that's the thing, and it is gossip because I don't know 100%. I really don't know 100%.
Have we missed questions off of our list?
Well, I've been looking. What are you going to do after you've sort of frittered your money away, Cameron? Are you going to go to university and get a job? What are your kind of?
You sound like my mum.
What are your like future aspirations of what you want to do with your life?
Get a job after Big Brother. No one wants you.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually as important as anyone would think I am. I'm really not. It's obviously it's not going
I
to
can
change.
tell by the fact you're talking to us on a Monday night.
No, I really wanted to speak to you. I had to cancel another radio thing.
No way.
Tonight. But I mean, I probably should have said that on here, but because I made up some emergency lie, which I should have done.
They won't watch this. Don't worry.
Hopefully they don't watch. But
They won't.
no, I think I'm going to do. Pardon?
Who was that with? Like a Norfolk radio station?
No, it wasn't. It was with what they called. To be honest with you, no offense, I'd never heard of them before. It wasn't a particularly big one. It wasn't
like
a local
BB on Blast.
No, but it was like an online radio type thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that big. I mean, I think we rescheduled, so it's fine. I can't remember I can't even remember what the question was. Sorry.
What are you doing next? Basically?
What are you going to do with your life?
Doing next? Yeah, what I'm actually going to do with my life. I don't know. I think me and Thomas talking about a podcast.
Right. We do the podcast around here.
Yeah, but yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, you can come on. You be a guest if you want.
Yeah. We love Thomas. We'd love to.
We're gonna do a little podcast together. I think I might go back to doing YouTube, not the way that I did it before.
I should hope not.
But in a different way, you know, for good, and to try and help people out with different things. So that's really what I want to do. I want to try and make a difference for good going forward with sexuality and stuff like that. But not even just that, but mental health and showing your emotions and stuff like that. Because, you know, I embarrassed myself on television for 53 days with being emotionally, you know, ridiculous. So, you know, but I think it is good to show your emotions, especially with men as well. It's a massive thing with men not being able to show their emotions. So I'd like to do that and to do some good with YouTube and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm just going to see what opportunities may or may probably not arise from this. And then if in the new year there's not lots happening and the YouTube thing's not really picking up and I can't make a living of it, obviously I'm going to have to try and think of some sort of career. I don't really want to do a career or some sort of job, and just I don't know. I'm still undecided. But one thing, what I am happy about is when I went in, I really just I'd given up with life, to be honest with you. I just didn't really care about life. Didn't want to live. Sounds so dramatic, but it kind of was the case. But Big Brother gave me such a spirit for life, and even though maybe I don't still know what I want to do 100%, I have got the spirit and the fight to actually try and find it and actually do something. So I'll be ever so grateful for the opportunity and for everybody who voted and supported me, because literally the show has changed my life, and that's why it's such an incredible show. It can literally change your life. And in 53 days, I've grown as a person with the help of the housemates. I've got more confidence. I've been able to express myself. Obviously, I came out as well. It has dramatically changed my life for the better. And it has given me that fight and that spirit for life back. And it's something I never thought I'd get back. So I'm so grateful. And I just don't want to waste it. I don't want it to be this time next year me going, I won Big Brother last year, but I've actually done nothing and I've lost that spirit that I won back, because it wouldn't be right, because it would be everybody and the opportunity that I've been given, that so many people would give anything to be in the position that I'm in now. I owe it to everybody who supported me, voted me, got me to that point, to actually do something with my life and to do good with it.
It was really touching, actually, even for my hardened heart, after going boo in the crowd when your dad came up, when your mum and dad came up on stage and cuddled you. That was really.
Yeah, no, that was an amazingly emotional, because I honestly didn't think my mum would come down, because obviously I've got a little sister who's 5, just started school and stuff like that, and I just didn't think that she'd come down. So when I saw her, and then my aunt was there, my cousin and her boyfriend, and obviously a couple of them didn't know about the whole coming out thing. So the fact that they were there, I was like, oh, thank goodness. There's 2 family members that don't hate me. And then they came on, and obviously I was already crying. But then when I saw them, I obviously lost the plot. And it just doesn't feel real. Like, it genuinely didn't feel real what was happening. It's such an utter, the only way I can describe it is a total whirlwind, but it was such a wonderful moment. I'm so glad that they got to experience that moment with me, because they've been so supportive, and with obviously everything that I threw at them throughout the series, you know, being an emotional wreck, it was an emotional roller coaster for them as well. So they're the most incredibly supportive family. Like I say, reading that diary and hearing my nan and my aunt and my cousins and stuff like that, and reading the messages of when I came out and what they were saying, I never doubted their support, to be honest with you. I just doubted myself. And I wish now in hindsight I would have been able to give them all their letters that I wrote. It's the one regret that I have, is that I didn't give them the letters that I wrote. They're all still sitting there, and I guess I could still give it to them, but I wish they could have found out not like that. But they've been so incredibly supportive, and I'll be forever grateful for having such a loving family, because you know we do take family and friends for granted, and we really shouldn't, because not everybody does have such a loving and supportive family, and mine have been absolutely incredible.
That's good.
So Karen,